In this video, basically I am going to discuss Kirchhoff current law and some of the numerical examples based on Kirchhoff current law. And if you have a sound knowledge of Kirchhoff current law, then using this law, you can easily distribute current in the various branch of electric circuit. Or you can say, this law will help you to distribute the current in various branches of electric circuits. So sound knowledge of this law is very important. Then only you can distribute current in the circuit. When you will see any electric circuit, then you will find a point where two or more than two branches are connected together. When you will see any electric circuit, then you will find the point where two or more than two branches are connected together. Let us consider this is electric circuit. And in this electric circuit, you can see that the point A is the point where three branch of electric circuit are connected together. So such point A, B, C, where two or more than two branches are connected together is called node. And Kirchhoff current law, you can apply Kirchhoff current law at the node. So you must understand the meaning of node. Node is a point where two or more than two branches are connected together, and you can apply Kirchhoff current law at the node only. So what is Kirchhoff current law now? According to Kirchhoff current law, the algebraic sum of the current at any node, algebraic sum of current at any node, this is a node. Why this is a node? Because at this point, 5 branches are connected together. And node is a point where two or more than two branches are connected together. And according to Kirchhoff current law, at the node, algebraic sum of current will be equal to 0. This is the statement of Kirchhoff current law. Algebraic sum means the current which is coming toward the node. For example, I1, I2 and I3 are coming toward the node A. The sign of such current will be positive, and the current which is going away from the node, for example I4 and I5 here, the sign of these currents will be negative. In this way you will have to make a sum, and that sum with the sign of current is called algebraic sum. And according to Kirchhoff current law, the algebraic sum of current at any node will be equal to 0. So if you will apply Kirchhoff current law at node A, then what will be the algebraic sum of the current? I1, I2 and I3. All of these current are coming toward the node. The sign of these three current will be positive. And as you can see in this circuit, the current I5 and I4 are going away from the circuit. So sign of these two current will be negative. In this way, you can make a sum, or you can say the sum of the current with the sign is algebraic sum, and according to Kirchhoff current law, this sum will be equal to 0. And you can write this expression as I1 plus I2 plus I3, and which will be equal to I4 plus I5. So you can modify Kirchhoff current law, and you can say the total current or total incoming current at a point A will be equal to total outgoing current from the point A. So in this way, you can modify Kirchhoff current law. The first statement is the algebraic sum of current meeting at a point will be equal to 0. And when you will solve the expression which is obtained from the algebraic sum, then you will get the total incoming current will be equal to total outgoing current. So in any way, you can explain Kirchhoff current law. According to Kirchhoff current law, you can say the total incoming current at a point will be equal to total outgoing current. So both statements are the same. Algebraic sum of current meeting at a point, or you can say the total incoming current will be equal to total outgoing current. These two statements are same, which is Kirchhoff current law. And according to Kirchhoff current law, since total incoming current at a point will be equal to the total outgoing current, it means there is no accumulation of charge at a point. So charge will not be accumulated at any point of the circuit. And third, the total incoming current and total outgoing current are equal. It means charge is conserved here. So you can say this law is completely based on the conservation of charge. So this is the main statement of Kirchhoff current law. And according to, based on this statement, you can derive these two statements. So in conclusion, you can say the Kirchhoff current law is simply say the total incoming current at a point will be equal to the total outgoing current. So this is Kirchhoff current law. Now, based on this law, you can solve the various numerical example. And sound knowledge of this law is very important, because this law is very helpful in distributing the current in the various branch of electric circuit. So for the distribution of the current in the various branch of electric circuit, the sound knowledge, sound concept of this law is very important. Now, how can you use to solve numerical example using this law? Let us consider the first numerical example. And this is very simple numerical example. And with the help of Kirchhoff current law, you will have to find the value of current I. How will you get the value of current I using this law? So when you will see this circuit diagram, you will find there are 3 nodes in the circuit. And you must remember, node is a point where 2 or more than 2 branches are connected together. So at point A, 3 branches are connected together. At point B, 3 branches are connected together. And at point C, there is also 3 branches are connected together. So these 3 are the node, and you will have to apply Kirchhoff current law at these nodes. Let us consider node A, and you are going to apply Kirchhoff current law at node A. KCL at A. KCL means Kirchhoff current law. So at node A, incoming current is 3 plus 2, 5 ampere. And let us assume this current is I1. So outgoing current from the point A is I1. And according to Kirchhoff current law, incoming current will be equal to outgoing current. So I1 will be 5 ampere. Similarly, when you will apply KCL at B, KCL at B, incoming current at B is I1 only. And outgoing current from the point B, from the node B is 2 plus, let us assume this current is I2. So 2 plus I2. And I1, you have already determined the value of I1, which is 5. So 5 equal to 2 plus I2. And then from this equation, you can derive the value of I2, which is 5 minus 2, which is 3 ampere. And finally, when you will apply KCL at C, what will you get? At C, incoming current is I2 plus 1, and the outgoing current is I. Already you have determined the value of I2, which is 3 ampere. So I equal to 3 plus 1. This will be 4 ampere. In this way, you can determine the value of current. So you can see through this problem, uh, what is the application of Kirchhoff current law. By using Kirchhoff current law, you can find the value of current between the node, or you can distribute the current in the various branch of electric circuit. So this is problem 1. Now I am going to discuss problem 2. In this problem, you will have to determine potential of point P. Suppose the potential of point P is V. By using this law, you will have to determine potential of the point P. How will you determine using Kirchhoff current law? First, you will have to distribute current in these 3 branch of electric circuit, and do not care about the direction. In any direction, you can write I1. Suppose the current in this branch is I2, and in this branch is current is I3. It is very important to note here, the direction of current is given by me, and you can take the direction just opposite to me also. The final answer will be same. So please do not confuse with the direction of current. In any direction, you can show the current. You can show the current from A to P, and if you want, then you can show the current from P to A. If your direction will be wrong, then the sign of current will be negative, but the final answer, the potential of point P will not differ. It will not depend on the direction of current. So you can take any direction. Now, according to Kirchhoff current law, at point P, incoming current is I1 and outgoing current is I2 plus I3. So according to Kirchhoff current law, I1 will be equal to I2 plus I3. And now what will be the value of I1? According to Ohm's law, if the potential of this point is 24 volt and potential of this point is V, then according to Ohm's law, the current is potential difference divided by resistance of the path. So for this path, resistance is 3 ohm and potential difference is 25 minus V. So 24 minus V, sorry. So the current will be 24 minus V, potential difference divided by resistance of this path. Similarly, what will be the value of current I2? The current I2 will be the potential difference between P and C, which is V minus 10, and divided by resistance, which is 2. And plus, what will be the value of I3? The potential difference will be V minus 9. V minus 9 and divided by 1. So in this way, you will get equation in terms of V, and you can solve this equation to find out the value of V. After solving this expression, you will get V equal to 12 volt. So in this way, you can determine the potential of the point P. Suppose you will have to find out the current in branch AP also, then what will be the value of current in branch AP? The current will be 24 minus potential of point P. 24 minus potential of point P is 12 volt, which we have already determined, divided by 3. So this is 12 by 3. And the current of this branch is 4 ampere. So in this way, you can determine current of any branch. any of these three branches. So this is the another application of Kirchhoff voltage law. Kirchhoff current law. This law can be used to determine potential of any point also if it is required. So this is another application of Kirchhoff current law. Now I am going to discuss third problem. This is third application of Kirchhoff current law. By using this law, you can determine the energy stored in the capacitor also. How will you determine? This is a circuit and the question is find energy stored in this capacitor. How will you determine energy stored in this capacitor? Energy stored in the capacitor is given by equation half CV square, where V is the potential difference across the capacitor. So for this problem, main task is to determine potential difference between A and B. Because capacitor is connected between A and B, and you will have to determine potential difference across the capacitor. It means you will have to determine VA minus VB. How will you determine? For the estimation of potential difference, current in the various branch of the circuit is required. So first, by using Kirchhoff current law, you can determine the current in the various branch of electric circuit. For this problem, you can see here at point A, incoming current is 1 ampere plus 2 ampere. Incoming current is 3 ampere, and according to Kirchhoff current law, outgoing current will also be 3 ampere. So in this way, you can determine the current in branch AE, and since there is only one path from E, so current of this branch will also be 3 ampere. And now at this node, what will be the value of current? So you can see, consider this node B. You can see here at node B, outgoing current is 2 ampere and incoming current is 1 ampere. So this current will also be 1 ampere, because according to Kirchhoff current law, outgoing current must be equal to incoming current. So at this point, outgoing current is 2 ampere. So at this point, incoming current will also be 2 ampere. So 1 ampere is here. So obviously this branch current will be 1 ampere. And at node F, 3 ampere is coming, incoming current, and 1 ampere is outgoing outgoing current. And that is the current which is flowing from point F to point B. So what will be the value of this current? 3 ampere is here and 1 ampere is here. So obviously this current will be 2 ampere, because incoming current will be equal to the outgoing current. So in this way, you can determine the current in the various branch of electric circuit. And now what will be the potential difference? Potential difference is basically I into R. And potential difference means drop in this branch plus drop in this branch plus drop in this branch. So drop in this branch will be 5 into current of this branch. Current is 3 ampere plus drop in this branch 3 into 1 I into R, and then drop in this branch 2 into 1. So in this way, you will get potential difference across the capacitor, which is 15 plus 3 plus 2. And it will be equal to 20 volt. So this is the potential difference across the capacitor. And now you will have to determine energy stored in the capacitor. So this will be half into 4 microfarad. You can convert it in farad, 10 to the power minus 6 into V square. and the unit of energy will be joule. In this way, you can determine the energy stored in the capacitor. So in next video, I will discuss about Kirchhoff voltage law and the problem based on Kirchhoff voltage law. And then I will conclude this unit in which you have studied about the current, potential difference, electromotive force, grouping of resistance, grouping of cell, then KCL and then KVL. Then I will cover the problem based on these topics.